Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham is one of India's premier top-ranked universities which focuses on transforming lives through learning, research and innovation. The university was established 19 years ago in the year 2003 and has made significant achievements in a short time. Education for life, education for living. Amrita University is guided by the thoughtfulness of our Chancellor, Amma, who laid down the philosophy of education for life by placing equal stress on education for a living. It is this vision that led to the establishment of a vast network of educational institutions that provide modern education while imparting the traditional values. While the pursuit of academic excellence forms the core of Amrita's success, it also undertakes the responsibility to shape the whole character of youngsters with love, care, and compassion. The university is headquartered at the foothills of the Western Ghats in Coimbatore, Tamil Nadu, and has 5 other campuses spread across South India in Amritapuri, Kerala, Kochi, Kerala, Bengaluru, Karnataka, Chennai, Tamil Nadu, and Mysore, Karnataka. The university will soon launch its new campuses in Amravati, Andhra Pradesh, Faridabad, Delhi, NCR. Our inspiration, a renowned humanitarian leader and spiritual leader, Amma is the Chancellor and guiding light of Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Amma's concept of education, stress on research, and commitment to instilling universal values have come together to shape Amrita into an institution where the latest achievements and discoveries combined with compassion and service-mindedness. As Amma said in 2010, when the State University of New York presented her with an honorary doctorate in Humane Letters. Rankings. The multi-campus, multidisciplinary research establishment is ranked as 5th best university in India 2021 by National Institutional Ranking Framework, NIRF. We have also been accorded the status of Institute of Eminence, IOE, by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. A testament to our pursuit of excellence is the NAC A++ accreditation score, the highest possible. NAC accreditation measures universities for excellence in curricular aspects, teaching, learning and evaluation, research, innovations and extension, infrastructure and learning resources, student support and progression, governance, leadership and management, institutional values and best practices, global impact and international collaborations. Among the private educational institutions in the country, Amrita has entered into MOUs and collaborations with more than 450 leading universities around the globe. Students also benefit from our relations with industries and interactions with top management of multinational companies. These collaborations facilitate student exchange programs, student visits, industrial training, and project guidance under reputed corporate entities. Placements. Placements at Amrita have always been best in class, with students usually having more than 1 job offer. Some students have up to 3 job offers by the end of their course from reputed MNCs, be it engineering, management, life sciences, arts or sciences. Amrita is a place where the world's best companies look for talent. More than 200 companies visit the campus every year, and the average salary offered to our students is 5.8 lakh per annum. Meanwhile, the highest package offered is 56.95 lakh per annum, and the highest stipend for internship is rupees 80,000 per month. Amrita's Technology Business Incubator, TBI, is a non-profit supported by the Government of India that funds, mentors, and nurtures ideas by startups and entrepreneurs. It focuses on developing innovations in the areas of information technology, cybersecurity, networking, social media, and more. The TBI startups have obtained multiple awards and recognition, both from India and across the globe. Till date, TBI has incubated more than 75 startups and mentored 216 startup ideas with 0% loss from investments. It funds up to 1 crore rupees per startup and has opened up many more funding options through its partnership with venture capital firms and angel investor networks. Amrita TBI is one of the only 6 incubators selected to be world-class under Niti Aayog's Atal Innovation Mission. Campus life, a home away from home. At Amrita, we believe in a holistic approach towards our students' development. To augment students' classroom learning, all campuses provide students with digital and central libraries, quiet study centers, seminar halls, e-learning studios, computer labs, and campus-wide free Wi-Fi. The university encourages both indoor and outdoor sports and games, and there are world-class swimming pools, gymnasiums, stadiums, and games arenas. Various clubs cater to the artistic and scientific minds of the students. If you look around all of Amrita's campuses, you will see the prevailing educational environment is in communion with nature. The sand, the seas, and the sky define the backdrop of these temples of learning. It vibrates with an energy of togetherness and encourages us to live in harmony with everything around us, including a unity within ourselves. This setting is suited to instill both learners and the learned with the courage and wisdom to face the challenges of life. The campus at Etimane is considered India's most picturesque. It is like an oasis in a desert. What started out as a barren landscape underwent a miraculous transformation through the university's tree planting project. Today, there are more than 1 lakh trees growing there, the most extensive collection in number and species on a university campus in South India. The Live-in Labs program originated from Amma's idea to bridge the rural and urban divide by sending university students to remote villages in India to understand the everyday difficulties faced by people living there. The program is designed to be a multidisciplinary real-life learning experience offered to both international participants and Amrita University's faculty and students. The lab's objective is to expose youths to day-to-day problems faced in rural communities with a 2-week to 6-month periods of live-in internships in Indian villages. It also aims to inspire them to dedicate the knowledge and skills they acquired at university to help develop practical, cost-effective solutions to the challenges faced by the villages. Researchers at Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham partner with senior scientists at world's leading research universities to innovate new ideas and invent new products, applying existing technology towards solving some of the world's most pressing problems, from disaster management to assuring access to education and the management and cure of diseases. This effort reflects in Amrita's national and international research rankings. India's first UNESCO Chair on Women's Empowerment and Gender Equality. Empowerment through Innovation and Technology. The Center for Women Empowerment and Gender Equality is a research-focused academic center for promoting gender equality and fostering women's empowerment with a special focus on using technology and other innovative methods. This center will offer diverse courses in key focus areas, pilot radical ideas, and collaborate with leading universities and institutions. The Amala Bharadam campaign, ABC, Clean India campaign was a program pioneered by Amrita, aimed at improving public health and restoring India's physical beauty. The project was launched in 2010 during Amma's 57th birthday celebrations, and through this campaign, volunteers undertake periodic cleaning of roads, markets, temples, government offices, and hospitals. As a part of this campaign, garbage was sorted and either recycled or properly disposed of. Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham, along with Kerala's Prisons and Correctional Services and Tamil Nadu Prison Department, initiated Amrita Yoga classes and IIM Technique meditation sessions in 2018 to address and transform the physical, mental, and emotional health of prison inmates. Our goal is to teach yoga and meditation techniques to help the prison inmates become more self-aware. They learn to breathe with awareness and manage emotions through these exercises. Ours is a changing world. It needs people who can adapt to change, with minds that can expand and include change, and yet hold human-friendly values that can withstand all changes. Which is why the world needs education that shapes the minds of these people, and which is why the world needs Amrita Vishwa Vidyapeetham. Education for life, education for living. A university where future is driven by imagination. Experiential learning creates diverse opportunities, where industry exposure and international partnerships help you sail. Come, start your journey towards success with Amrita University.
There's a place where the best minds come together, work to end inequalities, work towards transforming lives. This is a place recognized as one of the world's best universities. This is Amrita, now ranked among the top 100 universities in the world and ranked #1 in India. Amrita University.
There's a reason why we pick up the highest grades nationally and internationally, year after year after year. That reason is you. Now, with an A++ accreditation from NAC and consistent rankings among the top universities in NIRF, Amrita, we get recognized because you must.
We can start the session, Sudhir.
I'm requesting all the switch on the cameras.
Audible.
Can all of you switch on the echoes before we start this session?
Your voice is a bit feeble.
Yes, yes. Yes. Now is it audible? I'm just talking low. Now I think I'll be speaking a bit louder and also I hope all of you can hear me now clearly.
Yes.
Yes. A very good evening to all. So today we are coming up with a new episode of Amrita Oval, a new debate which is there in all our minds during this pandemic. A parent is asking, how can my kid learn something through online, through virtually, and a teacher is saying we can make him learn. It's not that much different. We are making him understand a lot more things through online or virtual mode also. It's not that hard. So these things, these debates you already had as an educational leader with the parents in the past 2 or 3 years. So the exact question today, which is there in everyone's mind is, can hybrid learning replace traditional learning? I know this pandemic has entirely changed our life. Majority, it's impacted industries. You can't ignore the industries, but industries adapted with the help of technology. So they are coming up with new solutions. But education, what kind of advancements, what kind of innovations they should come up with to cope up with the current demands. I know making a teacher learn about technology, usage of technology, blend it in their curriculum, in their teaching methodology. It would have taken a lot more time if not for this pandemic. One good thing this pandemic did was pushing us 10 years in terms of usage of the technology in education sector. This impact of technology, this learning methodology, will it be beneficial? There will be, of course, pros and cons in everything which we are trying to do something new today. There are pros and cons to everything. But both online and offline modes of education hold different characteristics and different traits. Soon people will learn to manage these both together. I hope some of you will agree to it, some of you might not agree to it. But when it comes to experiences and the benefits that the students get from this kind of learning, it's better to learn from the delegates, the speakers, the edtech leaders that are with me today, who are Venunathan sir, Bhaglakshmi ma'am, and Ganesh sir. I think you can share your insights regarding this, what you support. Is it hybrid learning, like a virtual or an app-based learning, or a traditional learning, which is there since the past centuries we have been doing the exact traditional learning. Before going into that, let's take this debate in a systematic way. As we discussed, first I will introduce myself and you can also introduce yourself and make a stand. What is your current inclination? What kind of learning methodology you like or you think will work in going forward? As I am Sudhir, I'm a head career counselor of a higher education institute like Amrita University. I came from a technology background and I graduated from IIT Madras. After that, I am working still in a tech company and I am doing this counseling so that I try to find out what are the changes that are happening in this tech world. So I am slightly inclined towards, my stand is I am inclined towards traditional learning, even though my likes and dislikes are continuously sitting in front of a computer or playing a game or reading a book online, virtually. These are my likes. Since I spend most of my screen time is online also, I spend most of my time virtually. I think traditional learning might have more, will be having more edge in the coming days. Okay, let's roll the dice and start the session first with Bhaglakshmi ma'am. Please introduce yourself. What is your likes and dislikes, and where use your current stand, and what is your inclination towards this current debate topic of the day?
Good afternoon, everyone. Indeed, it's my pleasure to be a panelist of this program. Thanks to Amrita for organizing such an intellectual debating and discussion among the educators. Just a brief about myself. I have started my career in a boarding school. After being there for several years, at present, I'm heading an institution named Sindhi Vidyalaya Matriculation High Secondary School, which is located in Velandipalayam, Coimbatore. And the vision of the school is to give equal opportunities to the children to get into the global arena. I enjoy watching the child joining a school as a toddler and just leaving the school as a well-educated adult. After being in 30 years, I have 30 years of service in this educational field. After being here for 30 years, I still feel the children are the rewarding part of my job. And besides being a principal, I was running an IELTS, TOEFL, and French language center, and I was a trainer. So my liking is always for language, and always I feel the language will enhance the skills, different and new skills, and it gives a new perspective for the children. I like to translate stories too. I'm doing so. And I claim myself as a good chef. And I'm a staunch believer of updating myself. Normally, I feel if we don't update ourselves, we'll get outdated. So I'll try to update myself with all new informations. And regarding my dislikes, I have no particular dislikes. And my dislikes changes according to time and situations. Other than that, it's not very particular. And the reason for choosing this topic, technology, has obviously made our life very easy and effective. There is no denying fact at all. But it may seem appropriate to adopt a learning style to keep up with the technology available to us. There are a lot of reasons to believe online classes are not as beneficial as traditional style of learning. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And the next speaker, Venathan sir, can introduce yourself and make a stance on the topic where you exactly your information is.
Thank you. I'm Dr. Venathan B. Pillai, currently Executive Principal and Head of International Curricula of SSVM Group of Institutions, Coimbatore. My experience is in international education mainly because mostly I worked in international schools, Cambridge schools and IB schools. My career started abroad, and until 2016, I worked abroad and came back to India in 2016. I am a Cambridge International Teaching Diploma trainer and program leader, and also an English language trainer for Cambridge programs, examiner for English, Cambridge English, IELTS examiner. I used to be an IELTS examiner, and also IBDP English examiner. My main interest, of course, is English language teaching, teaching in general, and teacher training. If I didn't become a teacher, my family says I would become a rally driver because I like driving also equally, but my first liking is always in teaching and training. And I adopt changes quickly, and I am a quick decision maker also. These are all the two positives that I have. I believe these are positives for me. Because of that, I would like to support the idea of hybrid learning, because my school, that when the Corona time when the school was closed, my school was the pioneer in starting online program. On the day it was closed, we started. Because of that, my school and I were featured by Education World that year, that month. So because of that, I started learning, though I am a digital alien. You can see that I'm a digital alien, but still I would like to support hybrid learning. Thank you very much. Thank you, Amrita, for organizing this forum.
Ganesh sir, I think please introduce yourself and make us know your stance also regarding the topic.
Thank you, Sudhir. Good evening to all respected panelists. And let me record my sincere thanks and appreciation to Amrita for taking this initiative in discussing the need of the hour today. That is difference between the hybrid learning and traditional learning. So as rightly said by Dr. Venathan sir, So before this pandemic, nobody would have thought about what is meant by hybrid learning, what is going to happen about. I remember a lesson I studied when I was in 7th or 8th standard, I don't believe. My English teacher took me a class about a topic about the school, where the child need not attend the regular school. He will be at home. It will be connected through a computer. So it is something, a unique lesson. Still, I remember, and the excitement that the teacher gave me on that lesson, still it is in my mind. So it was something like what do you call as illusion, something, will it happen, what it is. So the last 2 years change has made the whole scenario on the upside, right? So before we get into the session, let me introduce myself. I'm Ganesh. I had my schooling and graduation in Coimbatore. So I have around 22 years of teaching experience and with 12 years of leadership experience. I'm a heading school, LG school, where our exact motto or the plan is to provide wings to the students who aspire to fly high. And earlier my association was with Velammal, and I was heading a branch of Velammal institution. And I believe every child is unique. That is what I strongly nail in my mind, and in fact discuss with my teachers too. So when we believe every child is unique, how to bring the best out of every child is the biggest challenge lying in front of all the teaching community teachers, right? So I believe in it. I like to experiment a lot of challenges, right, as far as the learning difficulties that students face, how to work with that, explore with them, travel with them, and take those case studies as an experimental part and discuss with my team. So where no child should be left out, and the reason saying that he is very dull-headed, he needs a lot of what you call as challenges where we can support it. So that's what I strongly believe and like. And recently I got a certificate from Harvard University on exercising the leadership and foundation principle. So every day is a new beginning and every day is a learning for me, I believe. I love to learn from students. I learn to love from my teachers. I learn to love from the nature, and my learning still goes on. So thank you, Amrita, for taking up initiative and inviting me to discuss on these issues with a great panelist. Thank you all.
Thank you, Manish sir. I think that was a wonderful panel we have. I think two of them are literature oriented. It's good to know. And one is an exceptional leader who is having excellence of leading a lot of institutions. So it's very good. We have introduced ourselves. So let me take my stance also, because unfortunately there was one panelist who couldn't attend, but Bhagyalakshmi ma'am, to support her stance of traditional learning, I will also join in your team in this debate, and let's take this forward. And next round, let's move on to the next round of this debate is, you need to just give me why you feel traditional learning is going to work going forward, and what are the things made you believe in it? What kind of examples you can give based on your teaching experience or your school experience, your life or current leadership role which you are playing, what you saw made you believe traditional learning is the only way. So please share your insights. You have 10 minutes of your time. So please give us more information so that all the listeners can grab as much as possible from this session.
Actually, I very strongly believe traditional learning is the best methodology to teach the children, because the first point I would like to stress upon is the traditional learning. It encourages the interpersonal skills. When in a classroom, the students are often requires to speak of their minds. Online class requires very little or sometimes no face-to-face interaction with the classmates or with the teachers. The assignments and the home tasks are posted online, and the students can do on their leisure time. That liberty they have got in online teaching. This may look very nice for the students as well for the teachers, but it lacks the interactive elements of interpersonal skills. Completely, they are missing out the interpersonal skills. And when the students interact with their friends and teachers, the important thing what they gain is confidence, and they understand about their ability, the individual ability and their own strength and weakness. They'll be able to analyze and be able to understand. Actually, technology has shrunk the child's world into very smaller, and it has actually, to be frank, it has replaced the humanity too. And few things, the organization skills also. I would like to talk about the organization skills and the traditional classroom setup. It teaches the child how to develop the organizational skills, beginning with the basics, such as how to arrive on time. During the Corona time, we all know the children were not on time. Parents were struggling to wake them up and to make them to learn. But now in the traditional learning, the teachers as well as the parents, they take up the responsibility, and the child himself or herself will take up the responsibility, and he wakes up on time. The time schedule has been followed very strictly by the students. So this organization skill, which is very essential for them when they grow up, even in the career, in the professional life, is very important for them, which has been inculcated only in the schools, that too, especially in the traditional learning. And they have completed, see, and one more thing is, in a live classroom, students are held accountable for being prepared to do the schoolwork, which includes having done their homeworks the night before. So the previous day, they'll complete the homework. So the regularity was maintained in the traditional learning. And being ready for the pop quizzes. In case if any quizzes has to be conducted, the previous day they are ready for the quizzes, and they'll be make all sufficient arrangement has been made by them. And turning in assignments by the due dates, and for being prepared for the discussions, all is possible only in the traditional classroom methodology. In effect, students learn how to organize their time. Mainly time management was very much appreciated during the traditional learning time. Prioritizing their assignments and getting their homework done was, especially it was done only during this traditional learning classes. And the next point I would like to emphasize is the values and discipline. If we see, the prime concern of education is to establish a moral life in the world. The welfare of humanity, neither it lies scientific or technological advancements, nor in the acquisition of material comforts. The main function of education is to enrich the character. The students are attending the classes to enrich the character. So what we need today, more than anything else, is moral leadership. That is, the moral leadership which is founded on courage, intellectual integrity, and with the sense of values. That is mandatory today. The educators, we have a greater responsibility of imparting ethical values which could be highly possible only through traditional learning. Why values and disciplines are essential, especially today. In this era, money and material comforts have taken the upper hand. We all know money and material comforts have been given the priority. Unethical values have become very common. Example, with the permission of the moderator, I would like to mention violence, cheating. All this has taken the upper hand. And hybrid learning does not contribute anything for the values of morality. This is my point of view. And next one is about the physical and mental health. The physical and mental health of the students, it could be well maintained only through the physical classrooms. The major issue with the online classes or hybrid classes, plethora of physical problems the students have encountered, and still they continue to have the consequences of that. The eyesight problems and back pain and poor diet, lack of sunlight, lack of vitamin D, and lack of vitamin C. All these issues have occurred. Only the students have never encountered these kind of problems before pandemic. But when the online classes started, they have no exposure outside, and the poor diet has led them to obesity also added to it. And so this has caused a very serious health results to the children. And peer interaction is very essential for a child. Students in traditional setups, they can meet their peers and friends every day, allowing them to form human connections outside the courses as well as outside the curriculum. Even we can recall how we used to enjoy when we meet our friends after our vacation or after the holidays, and how happy we would be when we meet our friends or teachers, whomever it may be. Most of the, and another important area of concern is most of the families are nuclear families today. And the interaction in the family has become very limited. It is very much confined. At home, the most interaction occurs only with the mobile phones. They are just with their own mobile phones and the child has been left alone and there is no interaction is taking place. So the students are completely disconnected with the human interaction. And if hybrid classes are encouraged, definitely they will become an island. And I would like to give a survey report here. ULC states that the mobile uses has made one physically, actually everyone, the mobile usage has made everyone physically united and emotionally and socially and professionally, all the people have become all alone. So this is the fact which I would like to reiterate because it has got its own demerits. The next thing is like experiential learning. Experiential learning, it always provides a hands-on experience to the learners, thereby helping them to apply their knowledge. For example, the industrial visits, the field visits. So when the children were taken for industrial visit or for the field visit, they can have a real exposure to that. But in the online classes or hybrid classes, they will not get that enjoyment or that practical knowledge that will be completely lagging behind. Students are missing the great opportunity of experiential learning. Obviously, in this hybrid classes, for another example I would like to quote here is the chemistry classes, physics classes, biology classes, even the PT period. The PT period, when I asked the children, what did you miss during the holidays? The first answer came from the students is, Madam, we have missed our PT period. So they wanted the school environment, they want the personal classes, and they want the interaction. Everything is possible only in the traditional classes. And students learn to work under the pressure, which is a very important point. I think this is a very significant point of the traditional learning. Students learn more easily to work under the pressure of time. Besides, during the campus interviews, they have to face the stress management rounds. So probably being in Amrita, you all will be knowing better that how much stress management interviews they have to attend and how they have to cope up that. So they have to complete certain tasks within a stipulated time. Within a certain amount of time, they're supposed to complete certain tasks. So this interviews when they face, in case if those training has been imparted in the school days, it will become very easy for a child when they are going for the campus interviews or in the professional careers also. It becomes so easy for them and we are training them for that. Assigning in-class activities that need to be finished in a couple of hours. And for example, preparing the students for the professional world. So this traditional learning helps them to learn to work under pressure and it helps them to complete the task which has been given to them within the stipulated period of time. And collaborative learning, which is very essential for the children. The classroom environment promotes and stimulates collaborative learning. And collaborative learning is pairing or grouping of students to complete a task. Even I can quote an example for this. Volume 7 of Virginia's Tech Journal of Technology and Education, it explains that collaborative learning enhances students' critical thinking skills, which is mandatory today. So we are talking about the critical thinking skills, reasoning powers, analytical skills. All these skills can be enhanced through the collaborative learning when they make the group studies, when they join with their friends and when they make a group study, all the ideas will be shared and these skills are enhanced. Teaching in a classroom gives students the opportunity to engage in live discussions. They have a live discussions and even they can conduct seminars and they can have a lot of discussions about the subjects and which they are forced to use their critical thinking skills to formulate. There can be opinions and there can be arguments. So all this possible in the traditional learning classes. And individual attention, I feel it is very essential for students. In a class, there are 3 types of students. best, average, and slow learners will be there. And for the slow learners, they may require the help of the teacher, and this is possible only in the traditional learning classes. And the teacher can understand the body language of the child, and the teacher can help the child in person, and they will have a connection. Human connection is very much possible only in traditional learning. And extracurricular activities. Why extracurricular activities? Because it is very, very necessary for the child. Apart from the curriculum, they have to enhance their skills. They have to update their skills. So these extracurricular activities like music, dance. So there may be a question, is it not possible in hybrid classes? Of course, it is possible in hybrid classes too. But the effectiveness of those classes is very much appreciated only in the traditional learning classes. So, and I have a few more points to say, like punctuality. The time management can be maintained only in traditional learning classes. The children, or even board examination, they can maintain the timings. The time management skills are more very much appreciated during this traditional classes. This a few points. End of discussion.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. I think have made such a strong stance, and you have taken the role single-handedly since the supporting speaker is not there. But I thought of supporting you in this regard. But the points you stressed upon, the morals, ethics, and values can't be learned from a typical hybrid learning, which are very much essential today. And lots of things like collaborative skills are missing through this hybrid learning, virtual learning today. And I see as a person supporting you, see, in a physical learning environment, a student can easily ask it out, and they can easily debate with their friends. Like, or instead of typing the question anonymously in a hybrid learning method, they can easily ask it out and all. And post class also, they can join different clubs and have some music club or debate club. These kind of collaborative works, which is very much essential in these days, can be happening only through in-class learning experience. I know I support traditional learnings, and why I support traditional learning is because today the current information boom we have, a lot of students are completely there on the online. We can't police them exactly what they are doing online. At least if they are physically present in school, we can stop their screen time, make them sit and learn something physically. So we can help them understand about the ethics, about the morals, about the values and discipline, which is the most important skill today in a student life. I used to say students, successful people are not toppers. They are, they are successful because they have a unique skill set. Either they are disciplined or either they are dedicated. Those things can be learned only when they are in class from their teachers based on their in-hand experience. And through hybrid learning, it's only kind of an initiative learning. If a student is taking that initiative or interested to learn, then only that learning can happen. At least here in the initial school days, there should be some forceful teaching required in a student life. Otherwise, they will be distracted with a lot of other things today that are available to them in an easy way because of the smartphone or internet boom. A lot of misinformation, a lot of things they can do online. And if not, we are stopping that screen time. You know, today's students, they are addicted to this electronic screens. They are not even doing any physical activity. And kids are smarter. They are smarter than parents and teachers actually today. But helping them understand in hand what is required by them can only happen through traditional learning. So educators might find it difficult to cope up with this kind of what we can say advancements in their mind. For example, my sister's kid, he didn't even go to school. He is currently at the age of 4 years, 3.5 years, but he knows how to use a phone, how to open a phone, how to watch a YouTube video, and what he likes. He want to watch, he open the video. But as a teacher in traditional learning, you should be having that kind of knowledge to guide them. If a student is asking about the new career opportunities, new age career opportunities, as a teacher in traditional learning, are you having the required knowledge that can guide these new age kids who are coming to your school? That is the important thing which we need to address in going forward. Thank you for that wonderful stance and wonderful points to support your stance, ma'am. And let's move on to the next speaker, and let's get these insights also regarding how we can make this stance more supporting to hybrid learning, can have more advantages than traditional learning. Let's hear it from Veranathan sir, how you can support your stance, sir, based on your experience and being the leading school who adapted this hybrid learning way quicker than other schools during the pandemic. Please share your insights and your experience, why you support hybrid learning.
Thank you very much, and thank you for that presentation by Ms. Bhagya Srini. Thank you very much for that one.
Thanks.
First of all, I want to make one thing very clear. Hybrid learning is not online learning. Hybrid learning does not rule out the possibilities of traditional learning and physical classrooms. So your arguments, unfortunately, are against the online learning alone, not of hybrid learning. That gives me an advantage. Anyway, one thing.
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt. Actually, hybrid learning, I'm just talking about both. Hybrid learning, it is a combination of traditional learning and online classes. But
Yeah.
the children are missing out the opportunities. So
That's where I'm coming to.
Yeah.
Let me finish my arguments, then you can come in.
Yes, we can have a crossfire round also.
Right. Prosper after that.
Yes.
Because I have been listening to you completely, so now please wait for me to complete.
Yes.
Thank you very much for that one. I remember Plato was against, I read that Plato was against writing. Because he thought writing will kill memory. So he argued against writing. So if we accepted his argument that time, what would be the situation of the world now? And one more thing, I accept all the vices associated with the digital tools mentioned. But only if you think the vices associated with that one, we can find such vices even in a kitchen knife. A kitchen knife can be used as a weapon of offense. Do you throw your kitchen knife from your kitchen? You won't. So hybrid learning actually enhances and enriches the physical atmosphere, and it opens a wider possibility to accommodate a wider section and to accommodate a lot of learning opportunities. And whatever you mentioned, I made some notes of your arguments. I can even answer to that one in addition to my presentation as we go on. One thing, hybrid learning is actually the teacher engages in face-to-face instruction. At the same time, a group of students joins the class online. The physical team is there, the online team is there. It's a synchronous course, but it can also use asynchronous elements and digital tools for the classes. And when you talk about time management, I am actually a very great critic. I'm a teacher myself. I have been teaching in the teaching sector for 36 years and with the 22 years of leading schools in India and abroad. I saw different cultures, different countries, different types of classrooms, everything. And I also got the chance of leading, online learning also, hybrid learning also. So I can tell you one thing for sure. I'm a great critic of teachers' time management within the classroom. How many teachers, I'm sorry, my teacher fraternity should, if I am offending them, please, I apologize to them. That's not my intention. But that is not the case always. There are a lot of teachers who go to the classes without being prepared, without having the conscious of time. But in a hybrid learning situation, that is not possible. Every second counts. So create a very good plan is very important in a hybrid learning situation. So time management becomes easier and better in a hybrid learning situation. That is one thing. And even for students, say how many students, according to your experience, have handed over your assignments on time? How many? How many students? Actually, it is a great pain for the teachers to get to the assignments on time. But in an online situation, when you create online assessments or hybrid assessments and using digital tools, if you give, rules like if you do not submit it by this date of this time, you will not be able to submit again. Or if you submit later than that, you will lose this much mark. So time management will be more encouraged there. So time management is one thing that is better taken care of in hybrid situation. Then you talked about collaboration. Yes, I agree. The physical collaboration is very effective. But physical collaboration happens every day over a period of time for everyone within. But if you happen to collaborate with a school outside India or outside your state or outside your city, if these children are also coming into your class in a hybrid mode, that collaboration opportunities are more enriched or more, useful for both the children, both the students, even for the teachers. And the quality, again, I want to say the quality of, if you ask the teachers, my teachers told, sir, our teaching became more effective. The content enrichment was more effective in the online situation because we know that we are being observed. In a physical classroom, we are not observed. Most of the time, our observing team, leadership team, the supervisors do not come that easy. But in the online situation, we are being observed also. So because of that, we are also very careful. Our preparation also became effective. That's what my teachers always told me, and the teachers who I have interacted with also told me. So, and about, the students' own efficacy of coming up, it was true. I agree. It was true that the children were, the parents struggled to wake them up. But it was only for a few time, actually, not 100%. After some time, they understood this is going to be the, new rule, a new norm. So certainly we have to adjust to that one. Those students who attained that one, that responsibility, isn't it responsibility that we want our children to attain? Yes. So those students who became responsible, who became actually more responsible and developed an agency in them. There is a term called a learner agency, where students attain self-efficacy and they take charge of their own learning themselves. And actually, this online situation supported that one. This goodness also can be added to this hybrid learning. So hybrid learning is not negating physical teaching. Actually, it is enriching. It is enhancing the physical situation. A lot of experience. Other thing, I can give you some more experience. When the country went into lockdown, my Spanish teacher was abroad, and online classes started. But the lockdown was not strict in Spain. So what they did is, she went to a supermarket over there, and a virtual tour of the supermarket was given to the students. And the students enjoyed that. They interacted with the tellers there. They interacted with the salespersons there. They had actually, in normal circumstances, the physical circumstances, how much expensive. Even now, when we are discussing, when we are in this one, it is online situation. This is made possible because of all these advancements in technology. Technology, there are good things in that one, bad things that one. When I was a school student, there was no such technology. Technology was there of that time, but this technology was not there. Digital media was not there. Telephone was not there. Mobile phones were not there. It doesn't mean that I didn't, or the people of my generation didn't access the content these children are accessing on phone now. We also accessed it. It was in print media. So every time there are things, good things and bad things in the society, people will accept it. So what we have to inculcate in children is the self-efficacy, responsibility, and taking care of themselves. If that comes, their time management comes, their collaboration will come, coordination will come, everything will come. And when it comes to physical education, yes, I agree. Physical education has to be physical. Games must be physical. But if this hybrid learning is open, even in their own area, they have physical education opportunities. It is not a lockdown situation. We are not talking about the online situation only when there is a lockdown. It's not a lockdown situation. There are so many physical education opportunities in their own area also. It also gives an opportunity. For example, a student is absent because of an illness. He's not able to come. When he is coming back, either he loses that portion that we have taught, or the teacher has to sacrifice his or her personal time to teach that student. But in an online situation, because in a hybrid situation, when the teacher is teaching in the class itself, he can log in using digitally, and he can attend the classes. He can get benefited. So these are all the advantages. So do not look it as directly opposite to traditional learning. Look it as an enhancement and enrichment. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you, Vennadan sir. That's a good motion against our support to traditional learning and all. You have raised some valid points regarding the collaborative skills are not only pertaining to a school. There are a lot of collaborations that can happen which are not possible in a physical mode. Like for example, I can collaborate with people from remote areas, learn from them. That can be easy from this hybrid learning mode. And you have also raised, it can be opening up new venues of learning. It's not only it's not only constrained, so it can give us more ways of learning, more ways of teaching methodology. That's one thing you have stressed upon, how our teaching methodology might be improved with the implementation of this hybrid learning, because the traditional way of teaching, unfortunately, a lot of teachers are not up to the mark and making use of the traditional learning as an excuse. That cannot happen in hybrid learning method. You have clearly pointed out and make your points straightforward and all. Let's hear it from our next panelist also, Ganesh sir. I think now the time is yours and you give your views on this motion, like how you feel hybrid learning is the way forward, and share some examples and your experiences based on your life in this hybrid learning.
Thank you, Mr. Sudhir. And let me appreciate Bhagya ma'am for a wonderful message and sharing your experience. Dr. Vena sir has covered the whole thing, right? Whatever I have taken up across, I have been planning for. I think with his such a vast experience, I think he has put everything into a nutshell. And sir, you have taken all the points what I have noted. Now I'm just planning to add a few values to what sir has exactly said, right? The first and foremost thing, as sir rightly said, finding difference between the online class and the hybrid type of class. What do we look into that? Why it is hybrid learning is so useful? In what way it is going to take up a big role in future? So before we step into that, a few points to add to the values of what Dr. Vinas has said. See, changes are the permanent thing in this world, which we have often seen it, and it has been, we are looking into that. So, see what exactly we need to look into this present situation is a need for a change, right? It's exactly a need for a change. So why is a change required now? There are a lot of, we could find a lot of changes in various sectors. As far as education is concerned, the need for the changes, the situation, the type of learners and the type of situations what we are facing, and how can we deliver the learning at the best. So that was the foremost thing that we need to look into. When the whole world got stuck completely during this pandemic, when people thought, okay, school is not going to get open, so learning is going to make a full stop. So there came in a technology where everybody need to accept. See, teachers, I'm not accusing them. The teachers are slightly lazy to all these technology tools as far as the technology part is concerned. They are very familiar, they are very comfortable, they can do magic with the chalk piece. I strongly believe in it, no doubt about it. But as far as technology is concerned, some senior teachers I have seen stepping back and saying, okay, I'm comfortable with this, let me go ahead. But when the pandemic came in, every teacher, the senior, junior, everybody were into this. And within a year time, I could see a drastic change among the teachers where they bring in a lot of beautiful video contents, right? And bringing in the smart board through the online teaching was a very important thing that we need to emphasize here, because I have seen it very personally. As far as the mathematics class is concerned, when online class is going on, people used to show the board or write it and take a camera on it, and we were being stuck in a situation where these were not making a big impact as far as mathematics is concerned. So when we brought in smart board for all the classrooms, when we connected through the laptop and we started working through the smart board, the students were able to experience how it is, how a real mathematics class is given across, right? So as sir said, it's not going to be a replacement for anything. It is going to enhance further, right? It was not yesterday how we were. We need to improve ourselves day by day. So that's what we look into that. And the teachers need to understand the scenario and take it across. As rightly said, if a student on a health-wise is not well, he is not able to attend the school, he is going to miss his class, right? Rather, if it is going to be a hybrid type of learning where a child can insist or can understand the situation, what is happening in the class, take a notes of what is happening and give a best out of it, and he or she can take it up. So that is one important thing which is lying as far as the hybrid learning is concerned. And other important thing is, see, this online scenario has taught us very clearly that all the geographical borders, we don't have a limit to that. Everything is a shrink, and the whole things are into a gadget or a laptop or a mobile device. So the benefits talking about the hybrid learning is the students anywhere across, right? As sir beautifully said, a teacher taking around a virtual tour in a classroom is a beautiful experience, right? Whereas in a physical classroom, we may not be able to do that. And the notes, what the teachers are taking across, the smart board recordings or the lectures are stored in a Google Classroom, where a child at any point of time can reiterate on, he can have a look into what the teacher have taught during the examination time, have a browse of what he or she has learned. That is one thing. And the Google Classroom, submitting the notes on time, right? It's a very important tool. And the Google Classroom, the type of assessment we conduct, the type of extended learning methods, whatever is being done, it was engaging for the students. They don't miss the regular type of the traditional classroom, what is happening around. The need of technology is there in the teaching. It is undoubtful and nobody can deny on it. When we teach a classroom about a heart, right? The science class, if it is going to be a heart. So earlier days, we would have seen a teacher drawing with the chalk paste and explaining, no doubt about it, fantastic. But when the digital content has come across, even there is a possibility to dissect and get inside and view all the entire, the process in a 3-degree view and get it done. So that is an important aspect that we need to understand. And the Google Classroom, the students, whatever they have recorded, they have submitted, the instant corrections are done between the teacher and the student, right? That is where when an homework is given for class students, as sir said, there may not be an 100% accuracy that everybody may be able to submit on time. So, and the correction also may take 1 or 2 days, but whereas the Google Classroom is concerned, the assessments corrected or the worksheets corrected instantly gives a child feedback, a possibility to know where he or she has left. And few important things that the hybrid learning has made us, the personalized learning increases the flexibility and sophisticated assessments and reporting system, instant feedback, which I have been talking about earlier, and use of technology to improve, to increase the scope of personalization and engagement, saves the precious time and the energy spent on computing on the long distances, and students become self-directed learners. As we talk about the higher order thinking skill where the students need to learn of its own, when a student through this hybrid learning is able to get an opportunity to explore of its own, he or she is elevated to understand, to go to the next level of higher order thinking skill, and self-learning helps them a lot to continue their studies without any flaws. So as far as hybrid learning is concerned, it has never been going to be a replacement of something. It is a better version. It is a better version of how we were been dealing it yesterday. Let it take it forward. As the students are now into the what you call as IT industry, where everybody are so comfortable, right from an LKG child, right? The what you call as the application or the usage has become one of the important tool. And using that tool, what could be done? Now the role of an educator or the leadership person is to ensure that the teachers are given adequate training about it, how they understand the scenario, how they take it across. If it is going to be a mere monotonous type of class, I'm sure no hybrid or no traditional is going to make any impact. So it all depends upon how we prepare, how we are going to present it to the children. As the classes are being observed, the teachers are also getting a lot of important feedback to correct themselves, to address different type of learners. So I stand with the point that hybrid learning is going to take up for the next few years, and it is time that we need to get ready for it and what you call as empower ourselves and our team. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ganesh sir. I think you have made some valid points also, like the instant evaluation can happen through hybrid learning, and instant feedback and the virtual tours of the campuses is made it possible through this hybrid learning methodology. And you have emphasized on how teachers require training also. That's a valid point and all. I think we got a crisp idea how traditional learning is beneficial for students, how hybrid learning is beneficial for students. Ma'am, Bhagyalakshmi ma'am, I think
Yes.
I am giving you one chance to ask where you disagree with Ganesh sir and
Yes.
Venunathan sir. Please pose your question. This is the right time to get maximum out of these people and make them corner, at least because they are being too strong on their ideology, on their emphasis. Let's ask a difficult question to them. Please, let's disagree with them on some point. Please make your question to them. Please have a disagreement with them on what is your belief and where you think it will fail.
Actually, hybrid learning, the word says it's a combination of traditional learning as well as online learning. But in our country, during the pandemic, we had complete online classes. And when the school has opened, we had complete normal schooling is going on. So hybrid learning, I have a question. Where is the possibility for hybrid learning? Normally, we don't have chances. I'm not talking about the hi-fi schools. I'm just talking about the very normal schools. Where is there any possibility for the students to get the hybrid learning? Because during pandemic, we all know well, many students were deprived of education. They didn't have the mobile phones, they didn't have good network connections, and they missed out the lessons. And we understand as head of the institutions, the effect of pandemic is still lingering around, and we are not, all the principals and all the head of the institutions are trying a level best to bring them back to the track, whether it is a reading skill or writing skill or all the 4 skills, listening skill, all the skills are completely deprived, and we are trying a level best to bring them back in the traditional classrooms. So my question is the same thing. I would like to get to know the real definition from them for hybrid learning.
Yes,
I
Venunathan
can,
sir.
yeah, I can take it up
Yes.
for surely. Well, I believe that we are complementing each other on a lot of things. We are not contradicting, we are complementing each other. And the only thing is that whatever the outcome is going to be beneficial for all of us and the listeners who are, listening to us. I 100% agree with you on the digital divide you mentioned. It's a reality. Digital divide is a reality, and it is not peculiar to unique to India. Digital divide is there all over the world. And those who have these facilities, they do have. Those who do not have these facilities, they don't have. That is where the governments have come up. A lot of things have happened from government level by supporting the children with mobile phones, mobile towers, a lot of television channels. Nowadays, education television channels are there. Even in Tamil Nadu, it is there. In Kerala, it is there. I know. In other states also they have. So these are all traditional. In a hybrid learning, bringing a television program itself is a hybrid mode, which is possible. And I'm sure that during the pandemic, when we were on online mode, I'm sure most schools used Google Classrooms. So the Google Classrooms, if you have recorded your teaching, they are available asynchronously there. Sometimes the students can watch that one if they missed out your class. That is also a hybrid mode. And the children within the class, for example, I can tell you, in one of the classes, one of the schools under my administration allows the students to bring their mobile phones. It's international way. And in the classroom, the physical classroom, in the maths classroom, when I visited, the teacher used QR codes at different places. The students are going and scanning the QR code and they're getting the answer. They have to find the question for the answer. And gamification is happening. That is a hybrid mode. Itself is a hybrid mode. It's not very difficult for even the physical classroom to follow. And bringing in a TED Talk and making the students watch is not a problem. And a student who is able to join the classroom when he is not well to come to the class, or there is a wedding at home. The child cannot come to the class because of the wedding, but still he doesn't want to miss your class. He can join in from the mobile phone. That is a hybrid mode, if you allow that one. So there are so many possibilities in hybrid mode. I think Mr. Ganesh can add. One more thing I want to add what Mr. Ganesh added. Actually, because of this hybrid mode, nowadays there is a new term called phygital, physical and digital together. The phygital mode, the student portfolios are created, which is in line with NEP, 360-degree reporting. That comes because everything is put in the portfolio of individual portfolio of the children. So learner portfolio is automatically created. All these things happen, man. So this is how we can include the hybrid mode inside of the physical classrooms. Some more things maybe there, Mr. Ganesh can answer.
I have a question for Mr. Ganesh sir also. And teachers are not lazy. Actually, you have mentioned during the pandemic time, the teachers were lazy to use the digital devices. Completely, I would like to disagree with you, because we know well, though the Tamil teachers and whatever language teachers or whomever it is, those who do not have any computer knowledge, they have tried their level best and they have used the digital devices, and education was not being, they wanted to try it out, that the education has not been, the children were not deprived of their education. They have given their best to make all the classes alive. So at this point, I would like to disagree. And I would like to know your standpoint.
Yeah, please. Thank you so much, ma'am. So before I'm about to share my further thoughts, let me correct, ma'am. It was not, I said teachers are lazy during online class. Never. Because the 2 years without their, their commitments, things would have not been shaped. I'm completely agree. What I meant is earlier, before the online class, before a normal schedule, when we ask the teachers to prepare a video content or work on an Excel sheet, analyze on the marks, we have seen like their interest towards working on this digital. They are so comfortable, sir. If you give me a paper, I can do the magic. Whatever the calculations you want, whatever the Excel can do it, I'm ready to do that. But still working on the laptop, the typing, the fingering or the laptop, I find that's what I meant. It's not during the online class, because we are also being a part of frontline warriors, right? Because the educations were delivered and without their part, it cannot be done. So let me correct that. This is what I meant exactly. their interest towards the technology, their interest towards enhancing technology. Maybe the new generation teachers may be so comfortable with that, but whereas the teachers with already with an what you call a good sounds of experience coming down, working on this gadget, learning, no, they were a little reluctant. That's what I meant. Sorry for using that word. It is a little reluctant to get in the system. But what I meant is after this pandemic came in, everybody are common now. So even the teachers as Tamil teachers or Hindi teachers or the any other subjects, everybody were competing with the other teachers to ensure what kind of video contents they can make and they can deliver it. So that's how the things went on. It is still going on across, right? To add to few things regarding the hybrid classes concerned, as ma'am rightly said about the digital divide and the what you call it, availability of internet for all the students. Of course, it is a big challenge and it is coming up. India, country like India is it's a fast growing country and the things will be in place. And the Android device or the technology part within this 2-3 years, we could see the Android device in the hands of most common people. There are few challenges, no doubt about it, but it is coming up and it will come up. So here I would like to emphasize on statement very clearly that a teacher with a chalk picks can do a big magic, no doubt about it. So what is the need for today is the learners sitting in front of the teachers. The type of learners we have. The students are more comfortable towards the visual type of content where which will help them to understand better than explaining it theoretically during the earlier days. So the need of the change, what does the current scenario is demanding? So how can we equip ourselves? The teaching remains the same, no doubt about it. Blending the technology into it is the biggest question now what we are talking about. Blending this technology with the skill of the teacher, no students in this country is going to be left out, and I'm sure we will make it across. Thank you.
Yes. I think we had quite a good discussion, disagreement, agreement to the current topics. I think the time is short. I don't want to take more time. Let's have 1 minute. Your summarizing conclusion. Let's start with Bhaglakshmi ma'am. I think if you can conclude and summarize based on this session, what is beneficial now to the students, either it's hybrid or traditional, based on this session. So, or you can just straight away say it's traditional learning also, there's nothing wrong with that. But you just give us a conclusive statement, what you feel is better for the students today, one by one, after Venanathan sir and Ganesh sir, if you can conclude it. Let's wind up this session. Bhaglakshmi, the stage is yours.
First of all, my compliments to all the panelists. It has been well done and well said. And the summary points are like, of course, I'm for traditional learning because, as I said, the interpersonal skills. Because after pandemic, everybody witnessed what are the drawbacks we have in online classes, especially the attendance. Because the children will attend the class. If it is a physical class, we can see the child physically sitting in the class. But whereas in the online class, the children will give the attendance and we will not know about the whereabouts. So attendance was the very biggest issue during the online classes. And honesty. All will agree with me that during the examination time, especially with the school children, whether is it possible for us to maintain their integrity and honesty. When we conducted the test, we do not know how many of them have honestly written the papers and how many of them have scored the marks without any malpractices. So these are the questions are rising up in our mind. So this slowly, the values, already I have mentioned in the points, the values are dwindling day by day in the online classes. Many a times it happens. So it has got the traditional learning as well as the hybrid learning. Both has got its pros and cons, but certain countries like India, which is very feasible for this, we have to think it in that way because education is an equal opportunity. Education is nothing but equal opportunity should be given to all the children. Are we attaining that purpose? So that question also has to be answered by us. If we ask that question, as I mentioned earlier, these devices are not, it was a biggest facility for some of the children and they were not able to access these devices. Especially, very sorry to mention, personalization should not be done. But in spite of that, government school children, many of them were not able to get the devices, and many of them were not able to learn whatever has been taught in the class. But whereas if it is a classroom atmosphere, there are so many students, those who would like to attend the classes, and we know well they have scaled their great heights. So the attendance and marks, especially during examination time, the writing practices have gone completely, and we have to bring them back again, because whatever said and done, marks matters a lot in this era. So we have to think about all these factors, and traditional learning, though it may have very few disadvantages compared with this hybrid learning. So let us all see to it that traditional learning has been maintained, because our value system should not be diluted in the name of education. This I would like to do this.
Sure. Yes, thank you, ma'am. Very well, sir. Your summary and conclusion of the topic today.
Thank you. First of all, I would like to talk to the teachers in general, that when I said critical about the time management by teachers, I want to make it clear that they were prepared, but not as prepared as they went to the online mode. Previously, planning a lesson was also not so great for many people, but there were exceptions, there are exceptions. So I didn't generalize it. That is one thing I want to clear. Now I want to say we are talking only about hybrid now. In a couple of years or so, now we will be talking of teaching in metaverse. It's not ending here actually. So if you are still holding on to this traditional thing, it will not take us anywhere. Because the way that we were all sitting on the floor. We were probably using, the transport modes were like bullock carts and the horse carts and all. We are not in that place now. We have moved a lot from that one. We are quite faster, so quite advanced. So we also have to move with time. If the students are looking at their phones now, during non-device time before 2000, people were reading actually. They were with newspapers or they were with magazines. That also could be seen in a public place. You could see everybody was reading newspaper or magazine. Now everybody is looking at their phone, but the situation is same actually. It is not different. So this is because of the change of time. We have to, if we say no to change, we are saying no to progress. So that is one thing that you have to remember. So hybrid will go, metaverse will come. After metaverse, after some time, metaverse will go, something else will come. I'm not able to predict what is going to come, but education is going to change. And finally, human teachers will be replaced. But humans will not be replaced. I don't want to say that, but humans will be behind the teaching and learning, but the actual process may not be taken by humans. Humans will become people who will feed the robots or any other kind of devices that will come into picture. That will be the situation in future. So hybrid learning is the possibility now to enhance the learning. Their value system should come from home. The parents should come even in the physical situation, physically present, mentally absent. A teacher, I have experience of a parent is bringing to me that my child is absent on the test date because she was ill. When I asked the child said they went on a holiday. That happens. The value system should come from home, not from the school alone. So it has to be a reciprocal, it has to be an activity that we have to take up together. So hybrid is the possibility. The way now, after some time, it will give way to metaverse. After some time, metaverse will give way to something else. Thank you. And compliments to everyone, compliments to Amrita.
So thank you, sir. Ganesh sir, your final conclusion regarding the session.
So thank you so much, Bhagya ma'am and Venunagan sir, to share a lot of information. Your experience sounds a lot, and a lot of informative things were taken up today. Thank you so much for that. So before we conclude, let me suggest a few things what has come to my mind. So as Bhagya ma'am rightly said, school is a place where not only the academics are taught, values are taught, right? No doubt about it. And rightly said by Venunagan sir, values begins from home. The house is the first school and parents are the first teacher, no doubt about it, right? So when it comes to school, Yes, inculcating the values, inculcating a lot of interdisciplinary factors, discipline factors, bringing into the education sector, grooming the children are there, no doubt about it. And also no student should be left out. That's very important thing. And every student in this country should get an opportunity to learn, no doubt about it. And I strongly, firmly believe that also. So what to be done for that is, let us embrace the new change. Let us, it's a time for the educators and the people around, the renowned people, to work on this mechanism, different kind of mechanism, which will bring in all these factors, keeping in mind the values or the academics part is concerned. Let us ensure that the new technology, inviting this technology into this education sector is going to elevate the students further and further, no doubt about it. And learning is going to be a wonderful journey for them with the hybrid learning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ganesh sir, and thank you, Bhagyalakshmi ma'am, and thank you, Venunathan sir. I will give my final conclusion based on your insights. I learned a lot today. Actually, coming from a tech background, I am slightly inclined towards Venunathan sir, because I know I'm an IIT Madras guy, so what he's speaking, I can clearly understand. But Bhagyalakshmi ma'am, I couldn't support you well. One of our panelist who is supporting you is not there due to a personal emergency. But to conclude it, I know because of the automation which we are going to have, there is a risk of losing school teachers' jobs in the coming days. That's rightly pointed out by Venunaran sir. 20% of school teachers or professionals in education might lose their jobs because of the education. So from all your insights, I just want to conclude what is expected from future educators like you. Adaptability and resilience with blended learning. It's not only about traditional, it's not only about hybrid. We should come up with a way for time being for a blended learning methodology. Bridging the digital divide is a huge thing which we talked about, because Bhagyalakshmi ma'am giving every student an opportunity to learn virtually is a very much important thing, and keeping yourself updated with the technology. We should not be in a way, if some student asks a question about cryptocurrency, we should not be having a blank face as an educator. What is cryptocurrency and all? And computational thinking is important for teachers. Understanding the misuse of technology, making them police them morally, and the use of technology, how much far they can search for any resource, what kind of right resource they'll get this information from. And data literacy and digital literacy is going to be huge in the coming days. How they can interpret this data, visualize it, come up with solutions is very much important. Data analysis will be an important skill requirement, not only for students, for teachers, principals, and counselors. If we are going in this teaching methodology, what we're talking about, you will be having huge data at your hands virtually. So what you will make out of the data that is available to you virtually, and how you can analyze it, how you can come up with solutions to improve your students, improve your teachers and all. So with this, I thank all the esteemed panelists who came on a Sunday evening, shared their insights. I hope we had a wonderful evening and we learned something new. And going forward, all the learners who are watching this have something which is important, how they can align their curriculum, how they can use this in their teaching, and only they have learned something new. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing this screen with me, and thank you for sharing your insights. I hope I'll meet you soon in the school physically and gather a lot more insights from you in person. Thank you, everyone. Thank you,
so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for this wonderful session.
Thank you.